Speaking of Joe Rogan, hey, trying to cancel Joe Rogan. What the fuck?
You know what? I didn't even hear about that until you told me. So enlighten me.
All right. So what episode was it? It was one of the episode 20 or something. I don't remember, but it was like a good 10 years ago. And
he's on episode 1400 something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that must have been a while ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And it was Joey Diaz, his friend, the guy he would bring on the road who was at the time. Joey Diaz, Uncle Joey's in trouble. So Joey's the problem. And of course it is. We live in this, I was just saying before we started the podcast, we live in this white suburbia fucking controlled fucking Hollywood wannabe world. It's just, it's artificial. It's fake. So anyways, Joey Diaz was on coke a lot back then. He's a family man now, his little baby, like trying to get everything in line, but he would not show up to shows. Joe Rogan would bang on his door. Joe Rogan used to be anti-drug and weed, but loved this guy because he was such raw. And Joe Rogan he still says the funniest human on planet Earth. And
hey, he's a funny motherfucker.
Talked about getting some blowjobs, get some girls up on the stage, and apparently he never had that power. But
Joey Diaz did.
Joey Diaz, okay. And said he did about 20 girls, and actually, I got the clip. If you'd like to hear it,
let's check it out.
Check it out.
You're sucking my dick and giving me coke from Chewy. You think I'm fucking kidding you? Fuck yeah, you gotta suck my dick to get up in the belly room. I'll make a coffee. That's the fucking gateway into coming to Hollywood. Everybody knows that.
How many girls did you have do that?
Oh, 20 of them. I had this little blonde open mic.
What the fuck what's wrong with that?
So, like the Harvey Weinstein thing, the Louis, do you know about Louis C.K. as well? Mm-mm. Big, about a year or two ago, Bill Cosby, about Bill Cosby? Right. Okay. So, started, Harvey Weinstein probably started him, and then Jeffrey Epstein is the real big ones, but Weinstein would use his power and success to pressure women or secretaries or people trying to make it, especially in the industry, up-and-coming actresses.
Right.
To, he'd have them come up to his hotel room for a meeting, and he'd be naked in the shower and pressure them, basically, to have sex with them for a role in a movie or whatever. Okay. So they're saying it's Joey Diaz, but it's mainly, let's be honest, they're going after Joe Rogan here. So Joey's just the one that's the connection. So... Because he's easy.
What the fuck are they trying to do? What's going on?
He's talking about a girl that he would have girls give him a blowjob, and the complete episode is basically like a girl gives him a blowjob to get up on stage at the Belly Room, which is the Comedy Store in L.A. The Comedy Store is one of the biggest legendary comedy stories, historic comedy place ever in L.A. That's where they all go. That's where you want to be. Okay. And the Belly Room, they have 3 rooms, but Belly Room's one of them, and he would have this young blonde chick and apparently 19 others give him a head or whatever to get on stage. Now, he was doing coke and talking about, just get his dick sucked and do coke out of prison. He was in prison for kidnapping. He's a crazy motherfucker. Right. So anyways, yeah, so they're trying to go after him, and they're trying to go after Joe for laughing.
Who's trying to go after him?
The PC culture, probably the far left, the people that usually try to get people fired and whatever else because they just are complaining about something. But you know what? It is fucked up. It does seem fucked up. Like I read a LA Times article about Chris D'Elia, which is another comedian that's in trouble. His is a little more guilty, I think. I don't know. I kind of think they're running it a little too crazy, but he's in TV shows, so he's fucked.
So they're going after comics right now.
Yeah, they're going after comics, and but yeah, Joey Diaz, just basically that was it. And a lot of people back in the day were like, Joey's doing coke, and he was hanging out with chicks doing coke, and they were fucking, and he didn't even have that power. He might have said he did and used it for his advantage, but like those girls, no one put a gun to their head, and I think that's what we forget. Girls have rights, but I'm pressured to be famous. I've been pressured. I worked at a gay bar. I call it not so straight bar, the Mint Karaoke Bar in San Francisco.
Shout out.
Hey, and it was a half gay employees, half straight. It was a gay bar that converted into anyone's welcome, but mostly gay. Gay in the day, straight at night. It's opposite of your lifestyle, my friend.
Interesting. Yes, it is.
But it's So you don't think I got propositioned all the fucking time by gay men?
Well, you are fucking handsome, Jay.
Thank you, sir. Are you propositioning me right now? But it's so like that's the environment. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I never sucked anyone's dick or did anything creepy, because I'm not gonna do that. I don't give a fuck. I got offered tons of money.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think you have a fair point, man. You know what? I think about that a lot. And obviously, we're not women. So, you know, we don't really know what goes on. But, you know, they probably get hit on so much more than we do. I mean, you know, they got to have thick skin for sure.
Yeah. And working there helped me realize, honestly, I felt like, oh, this is what it's like to be a woman. Because, like, literally, you walk in and you can't even eat your fucking burrito without, like, eyes on you. And it's like, fuck. I can feel like I'm being watched. It sucks. And, like, it's gross. Especially, like, me, I'm straight, you know? But, honestly, I had a college degree. I was going through a rough time in life, a rough breakup. Got left with all the bills. I was on unemployment. I sold my car before that to move to Europe. I had to move back.
So you're already vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. Ended up trying to go to San Francisco. My cousin hooked me up with a job as a bar back and a door guy. Not bareback, bar back. But not even. And then I became bartender. But like,
this is getting weird.
Yeah, but you know, like, I was desperate for, like, trying to figure out. I was thinking, should I go back to college? I was applying for jobs in my business degree. No one wanted to fuck with a Fresno State boy. But, like, people, oh, you got a degree and you work here? Oh, I work at this company. You know, like, tech guys. That's when I first met the tech people. And, oh, dude, propositioned all the fucking time. And you know what I always said? Nope. I'm good. I'll do it on my own. I'll use my talent on my own. 4.5 years of that, dude.
So, first, dude, who the fuck doesn't do that? What celebrity do you know doesn't fuck groupies or take people in the green room or, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, come on.
Well, it's so we actually had a conversation last night or 2 nights ago about rape. We're talking about Trump, and you're like, Trump's a rapist. And I was like, whoa, what do you mean he's a rapist? But like, and then it ended up like, he said these bad things about women. I'm like, well, that's a lot different than rape. Rape's a huge accusation that could ruin a life.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, yeah, I think I was just spewing a bunch of negative shit about Trump, and that just spewed out. But who knows? I mean, dude, rubbing shoulders with Epstein, being on his island, and you know, getting quoted as saying, you know, he likes the same type of girls I do.
I don't think he was on the island.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But there's, apparently... yeah, he did have that quote in that documentary we discussed. That's creepy as fuck. And we know he likes young women. But let's be honest. Let's be real. Have you ever looked at a girl not knowing her age and then you're like, you look at her face, go, oh, she looks young. Holy fuck.
Oh, for sure.
We're men.
Oh,
and I guarantee women look at young dudes too. So why are we playing like this isn't real? Now, I'm not saying it's right. Chris D'Elia it's crossing the line, you know. But Joey Diaz just talking about, dude, I worked at bars. Everyone's fucking everyone. There's no rape.
Right.
There are few people might cry rape when they're broke or need a favor or need a job. But like, dude, I'm sure, I know rape happens, but I don't think rape, what they used to say in 2015, 1 in 5 college girls get raped.
Yeah, right.
But then it turned out if a guy's drunk and a girl's drunk in college and they fuck, that's possibly rape, or, you know, it's like, what?
It's a fine line. That is very, very touchy for fuck on so many levels, you know, but I think it is a fine line because I remember, you had to go through like 3 hours of that training during college. You had to watch all those videos and before the semester started. And
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's just like sex harassment and how to avoid it, what to do about it, call it out when you see it.
In college?
Yeah, in college, here at Sac State.
I never dealt with that in San Francisco or Fresno.
No?
Or COS.
It might have been newer.
Jobs. I had jobs where I had to watch those videos.
No, yeah, this was every time you had a new semester, you had to retake this online course.
So Sac's pretty left, huh? Sac State.
Well, I guess would you call that left?
Most college states. I don't know.
I would say it's definitely good to know about. What do people do in college? Get drunk and fucked up and do stupid ass shit, right?
Yeah.
And I agree. There are people that just use that rape word to their advantage, and that's unfortunate, you know. But who is anybody to say whether they're right or wrong, right? All you got to do is take their word for it, and hopefully they're telling the truth. If they're not, well, whatever. If they are, well, then this is a pretty fucking serious matter, you know. And you know, I've had situations too, not personally, but I've known people that like, well, you know, maybe not. And it's a fucking fine line, man, you know, and it's hard to tell what is the truth and what's not, right? And again, just got to take someone's word for it. But going back to, you know, Trump and just, I think the point you're trying to get at, and this is what we were talking about the other day, was who doesn't do that, right? I mean, you know, Trump says this stuff and you know, he is who he is, but who isn't, right? All these celebrities, and same with Joey Diaz, right? Oh, he bring 20 girls on stage and promised them a career.
He wasn't even famous back then.
Yeah, right. I mean,
nobody.
Who, you know, Seriously, that happens every fucking day, I'm sure.
Well, he wasn't a nobody. He was an opening for Joe Rogan. That's something, I guess. But I don't. He definitely wasn't known. But like, at least in the wider circle of the world, but comedy world. But you know, it's man working in the bar industry, dude. Like trust me, I've met girls that would fucking do things for a beer.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
So like, it's hard for me. And I read an article today, like LA Times, one of these left articles, and it was like, it's time to just believe women. I'm like, what? Then every man's going to jail if they piss them off. What do you mean? Just blanket believe them? That's ridiculous.
Well, you know, I don't know. I'd have to almost disagree, but I see again. I see where you're getting at, because there's a fine line though. Because if you don't believe them, let's say someone says, "Oh yeah, I was raped," and it's like, I don't know if I can believe you. But they were brutally, and I mean, you can't even imagine what that's like. That's PTSD. That shit lives with you for the rest of your life. I mean, you can't even imagine what someone like that has experienced, something like that has to live through for the rest of their life. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the benefit of the doubt, and if they're lying, then fuck, that's on their conscience, not mine.
Yeah, but someone's life's gonna get ruined. They're gonna go to jail. Well, so just believe women is a dumb, in my opinion. Sorry to disagree, is a dumb fucking statement. The right statement is, check the evidence.
Oh, of course. You have to check the
evidence.
You
want Salem witch hunt out here?
No. Oh, dude, for sure. I mean, that's the beauty of the way we're supposed to run our system, right? You fucking check the evidence. You run the evidence. If someone's lying, then the girl should go to jail, right?
Amen.
I truly feel that way, because you can't fuck up somebody's life. Unfortunately, sometimes there's no evidence. Someone will go to jail for, hopefully, something they didn't do wrong, but that shit happens every fucking day too.
Hey, I know a woman who we believed in history.
Monica Lewinsky?
No, I don't believe that bitch. No, I don't. No, she was down. You got me. But Emmett Till, the lady that said he whistled at her or whatever. Emmett Till years ago, and they dragged this poor 13. I don't know how old he was.
Yeah,
13,
young kid,
14.
man.
This poor black kid and drag. I think that you can't even recognize the open casket was. You can't even recognize him. It's horrific. And she lived her whole life, and then in her 60s or getting up there, she admitted it was all a lie. So believe women. No, men lie, women lie. Have you ever met a crazy? Have you ever dated a crazy girl? I know we all have. So it's okay, but like that should scare you.
Well, you know what? That's a great example, Jay. And I mean, there's so much more to that. Obviously, I mean, they're looking for a reason to fucking do that to black folks back then, anyways. So any little thing triggered a fucking gruesome act like that. But I mean, yeah, to the point, that's exactly what happened.
I knew. Okay, let's tell a story. We knew someone that we grew up with. Let's call him. But he had this girl he was dating, and I remember him telling me like, "Yo, this chick, she's like, we're at her friend's house. This was years ago, but something like we're at her friend's house partying, and we got a little disagreement, and she like threw herself against the wall or the ground, and was like, and pushed me in front of all her friends." And I was, a logical kid back then going to college. Right. Like, okay, you break up with her. Get the fuck away from that unless you want to go to jail. Well, I don't think he was very logical at the time because he brought her to my apartment to a party one night. And so I had a roommate who became a correction officer. So he made us smoke in this little bathroom. So all of us piled in. It's like, me, my cousin, and this girl he's dating. And we're smoking, and we're all kind of like looking because we had a radio in there. This is funny. College kids in a bathroom. And she literally, I turned to go out of the bathroom, so I was the only one facing her, and I saw her throw herself hard on the bathtub, her head, neck, shoulder, and I was like, and everyone turned, like, what the fuck happened? She's like, I don't know what she said, but she was insinuating that and pushed her. And I'm like, well, no. And we're all stoned, but like, come on, I'm not dumb. I'm like, what the fuck? So then the CO bangs on the door. What the fuck happened? She's like, he pushed me home. And
fuck.
So, yeah, it goes both ways, my friend. So it's hard. You just don't believe men. You just don't believe women. Women are, men can rape women obviously way easier than vice versa. But it's, I don't know. It's just that blank statement is going to ruin a lot of lives that shouldn't be ruined.
Well, that's, that is a blank statement. And, that's the problem with headlines, right? And you give a headline like something like that, and people don't read articles. They'll read a headline like that and just, insinuate a bunch of crazy shit. But obviously evidence is fucking key, man. And there's a lot of ways to do evidence nowadays. I mean, there's so many fucking ways to gather evidence. It's so sophisticated now with DNA testing and follicle testing, all kinds of shit. So, you know, it's one of those things, right? It brings me back to defunding the police, right? Let's take away their fucking grenade launchers and fucking tanks, and let's get some fucking real investigators in there to investigate shit like this.
They have grenade launchers?
Fuck yeah.
Do they?
Dude, I read an article.
I'd be surprised. But
there was fucking school cops that had grenade launchers in a fucking school.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Fucking nuts.
But yeah, well, it's funny because so they're going after Joe Rogan because he laughed. But even the third guy, do you notice the third guy in that clip? That's Redban. So Redban was the sound guy for Joe Rogan for years until Jamie took over. So the guy that Googles everything and does the audio.
The one that we need.
Yeah, the one we need a Jamie. But yeah, he has a podcast called Brothers in Cursive with William Montgomery and David Lucas. It's great, up and coming podcast. Got these two opposite guys who are just young comedians, but it's just funny. And but he runs the sound for him and also talks. But they asked him about it, like, "Oh, were you in that clip?" And he's like, "Yeah, people are coming after me," and I sat there with a blank face, like he didn't have any emotion. Right. He was just like, I think he was trying to get their attention for something else, and it was like, he's like, "Yeah, they're even coming after me because I should have said something." It's like, oh god,
come on, man,
get a life.
Well, and dude, seriously, this is the type of shit that brings me back to Edward Snowden's book. We skipped a few episodes, but now we're back
to Snowden.
Back to Snowden. Right, permanent record. Yeah, permanent record, dude. That's exactly what it's about, right? Whatever you put for people to see in the world will live there forever. So that way when they need to use it to their advantage to demonize you and to bring you down and to bring everyone around you down, that shit will pop back up and they will fucking use their PR stunts to put that shit in the world like you wouldn't believe. And here we are with this crazy fucking PR stunt.
You know what Epstein used to do? He used to blackmail people. He used to invite people in his home and do funky shit and then blackmail them for the rest of their lives to get what he wanted. Mm-hmm. They're blackmailing comedians and celebrities for stuff they said 10 years ago. Kevin Hart wasn't able to speak out at the Grammys or I don't know, one of those stupid shows. Because of a tweet, an anti-gay tweet, and it was like a joke.
Oh, really?
He said, if I ever found out my son was gay, I would hit him over the head with the dollhouse.
I've seen that.
Something like that.
That's right.
Funny, but he's a comedian.
Right.
At different times. So what about that? Do you have an excuse for being in a different time? Because it almost feels like the 90s were a different dimension, right?
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, there was. And I would tie that with, is it an excuse to being a comedian, right? Because it's like that puppet, right? That I think it was Eminem talked about that, right? Or he had a song about that. This puppet, I forgot what show it was, but the puppet could say
Crankers or whatever,
something like that. And it could say whatever the fuck it wants because it's a talking fucking doll, right? And it talks all kinds of shit. But it's like, can it? Because someone is saying that shit. Someone has their hand in that doll, obviously. So, are comedians on another level where they just don't have any barriers, or there's no line or no rope to cross?
Well, they're the most free, and I think that's why Joe Rogan's being attacked in a loose way for laughing at something someone else said. I'm sure there's much more they could pull up on Joe Rogan, but
right.
Lenny Bruce, I was trying to think of his name a couple episodes ago talking about old comedians. Lenny Bruce was, I don't know what year it was, 40s, 30s, out of 50s, but Joey Diaz went on live to address this, and I love Joey Diaz because he's like, fuck you motherfuckers, let me tell you about my life, because I don't come from suburbia, he fucking, I believed he was born in Cuba but came over, but what happened was his aunt was raped by an older man, pedophile in Cuba, and the mom got a knife and stabbed him and killed him, had to flee Cuba because of that. And he said, that's what you do with motherfuckers. So don't say I'm that guy.
Yeah.
So, and then he also apologized. He's like, I was a different guy. I've grown. That was years ago. And he goes, what about the guy I stabbed? What about the guy I kidnapped and went to prison for? You guys don't give a fuck about those guys, do you?
Right.
You care about some girl who I was already fucking and gave me a blowjob. So it's obviously this PC culture going for certain things, and it's just a lot of...
That's exactly what it is, man.
Are humans allowed to improve? Should we keep prisoners in prisons forever?
Right.
No, there's a journey in life to hopefully be a better person. Now,
if
you're a Weinstein, Epstein, fuck no.
Yeah, that's a different story.
You don't want to be a better person.
Well, and that's fucking great point, Jay, because I'm glad that Joey Diaz brought up those other things because it's so fucking true, man. I was fucking young You know, who doesn't do stupid shit when they're young? Who doesn't get drunk and fucking party and have a bunch of crazy fucking weird experiences when they're young, right? Leave them the fuck alone, dude. Leave Joe Rogan alone. Leave Joey Diaz alone. Go fucking tackle the real motherfuckers that are destroying this fucking country, destroying the world. I mean, sex rings, child rings, fucking... It's fucking disgusting. It's a disgusting world. Do the investigation on those motherfuckers.
Half these motherfuckers, the people are going after Joey Diaz. Half these motherfuckers, the people they vote for are the disgusting creatures that they should be going after.